What up, guys? Welcome back to the Big Screen Show. I'm Alex.
And I'm Wyatt. We're here bringing you a reaction and review of Love Lies Bleeding. Man, this was a roller coaster with one of the craziest endings that I've seen from a movie since um what is it called? The movie where they it's the like apocalyptic movie, the Obamas made it.
Uh, leave this world behind.
Leave the World Behind. One of the worst endings to a movie since Leave the World Behind. And I really thought the storyline was good up until the ending, up until the last climax of the movie, but to me then it fell off big time. What were your thoughts on this movie, Alex? Spoiler free right now. No spoilers for the review right now. We'll get into some spoilers in just a second, guys. But what are your thoughts on this one, Alex?
Yeah, I'm agree with you. This is probably the craziest unexpected movie that's seen for an A24 film in a while. But I probably tell you, the movie is pretty much like explicit of what the title is, like Love Life Bleeding. I mean, it's sexy, it's violent. It's like it's like a whole mess of blood that basically builds up to the plot in crazy ways. I was not expecting, because like the movie starts up as kind of like subdued and kind of like building a relationship, but then just kind of goes off like a bomb and just kind of explodes in rage. But honestly, I have to say, I'm not really a fan of Kristen Stewart, mostly because, like, back to the Twilight films, I hated
Mhm.
those. I'm never gonna watch them, but I can honestly say that I can definitely see she's becoming much more of like a better rising star when the old Twilight movies isn't holding her back. I think this is probably like the most effective performance I've seen of her since that Charlie's Angels reboot, which not people love, but like I think it's okay, but it's not the best. But then again,
Yeah,
no Charlie's Angels movie has been the best.
you say that it was really good acting by both of the main actors in this movie, like what they had to portray and kind of like what they had to give to the audience was a lot. I really did love their acting, but the plot that they went with at the end just really brought the movie down and all. And if they would have had just a normal ending, the movie would have went from like a 4 to like a 6, maybe even a 7, if they would have nailed the ending.
Yeah, I don't know, but for me, the movie is about 8 out of 10, because again, it does follow a little bit. It does follow this more of like two people who are like pretty fucked up in one way or another, who probably had these very traumatic points in their life and just kind of coming together and finding solace within it. But it also
Mhm.
kind of shows the crazy ways of like their matter of addiction. But one's a bodybuilder who kind of gets hooked on on those steroids. Another one is like a chain smoker trying to find like a bit of, I guess, sense of like pleasure and euphoric in something, where she seems pretty dead on the inside in these situations and stuff that she doesn't really have much control over, until someone is coming in and try to force her to act. And also as a form of like self-reflection, where I think is what Kirsten Stewart's character is, like her own reflection of like what she's done in her past, living in this town with a criminal father. And then we actually have like Katie O'Brien's character Jack, who basically just comes in and just kind of shakes things up. But for its ending wise, which we'll get into more later, I actually don't think the ending really ruins anything, because it kind of shows more of like, even though they're both probably been fucked up, probably one from one way or another, one probably betrayed the other, but then choose to come back together. Flows a little more better, showing what more they went through apart compared to when they were together, which seems like a much more better case. And yeah, we're gonna get more details into that later on when we get past our initial thoughts. But I would honestly say its story and vibe with its twists and turns at every point, where there seems like where each get to keep going to the edge of like crazy despair, close to like literally death is in their path at most of the time, and it's like second act and conclusions. But I think that makes it much more effective with like crazy twists and turns that's kind of been set up in their own, I guess, in their messes of their own creation.
Man, um, there was a lot of twists and turns. I did respect coming from a gym culture and being a personal trainer. I did respect the storyline. Kind of being around like steroid addiction and how are people acting off steroids, especially to like ones in their relationship, and how like just like people can snap just like that, and it can take you for a roller coaster of life and really get you into some things that maybe if you would have thought that through, you would not have done. It can really get you into some trouble, like we see in this film. Um, what was your rating on it? I think you mentioned you gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Okay, okay. Man, I really like some aspects of this movie, but the ending not hitting and just being so crazy. I gave it a 5 out of 10,
Oof.
and it was probably, like I said, it was probably leaning to a six or a seven. Um, but with just a couple of missing elements from the film and the one of the craziest endings to a movie that I've personally ever seen, I had to give it a five. But let's get into some spoilers. Let's get into the nitty gritty and get into this plot line and get into this ending. Um, attention, guys. If you're watching this video and you have not seen Love Lies Bleeding and you don't want to see or hear any spoilers, go ahead, click off this video, still give us a like, and still come back and comment what you gave the movie once you have seen it for yourself. Other than that, guys, we're moving forward with some spoilers. Alex, start us off, man.
Oh yeah. So basically, kind of really starts off with Kristen Stewart's character Lou, where she's basically just kind of where she's kind of getting into like this melancholic lifestyle where she just either goes home, drinks, goes to work, and then goes to work and working at the gym, being like person behind the desk and all of that. Until literally we got this girl named buff girl named Jackie coming in, who's kind of just traveling through.
Jackie.
Yeah, traveling through, and she basically just kind of like opens up Lou a little bit more, and just kind of creates this kind of instant attraction, which I kind of respect because a lot of times, I guess you meet someone and you just have that instant connection. But I like how the movie doesn't really waste time with kind of like building it because again, it's focusing on like getting like the premise started like fast and quick, and then already gets ready to just go off.
Yeah, yeah, their relationship is kind of like set up very quickly. Like Jackie comes into town, Jackie comes to her gym. Lou is working at the gym. They kind of have some eye contact, have some connection, and then boom, off rip, they are together. And in a way, Jackie is kind of using Lou a little bit, especially since she doesn't have a place to live. She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have that much cash, that much bread, no car, nothing like that. So, where I do feel like Lou is very genuine to Jackie, Jackie is still kind of using her a bit.
Nah, yeah, I can see what you mean about because as we found out kind of later in the middle, we found out that like Lou's like brother-in-law JJ, who was actually married to Lou's sister. Well, apparently, we found out that actually like Jackie and JJ had basically by the time that Jackie met Jackie had been fucking JJ in order to get a job at where Lou's father works, which is kind of like this gun club slash like bar area, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, and she was having to keep this on the low from Lou the whole time. I even remember with one scene where they had dinner. They had
Yeah.
dinner with the guy, um, and pretty much it was just they at the dinner. Him and his wife, Lou's sister, get into a little altercation, little thing over dinner, and he storms off to the bathroom, blase blase, and then him and Lou get into a conversation, and he pretty much breaks the ice to Lou that he had been fucking Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, man, after that, it kind of steamrolls because Lou is not messing. with that. And as you could feel, put yourself in those shoes, man. If you found out that your significant other had fucked your sister's husband, what? What,
Yeah,
bruh? Yeah.
yeah, that would,
We might have to say
yeah.
deuces. Like, it'd be like deuces on that, man, because that's crazy.
Yeah, but again, this is
Yeah.
yeah, but again, that also does kind of create more complicated feeling because like even though for Jackie it probably was starting out that way, but I think over time where they were just kind of get to know each other and just kind of I know they were probably like the only covenants in their life because yeah, it's been stated that Lou hates being in the town, but the only reason she stayed is for her sister who is getting like physically abused by JJ like literally every time. But it was crazy that this entire moment basically kicks off where literally JJ puts Lou's sister in the hospital in a whole coma, really, where things just get pushed way too far.
Yeah, yeah. And that just to give you a little synopsis, like pretty much their Jackie and Lou are together. They have been building their relationship. They've been together for a little time now. And like you said, JJ puts Lou's sister in the hospital. And after that, the turmoil begins because in this time that they have been together, Jackie has been building her steroid addiction and has been just using steroids. I don't know if I would call it an addiction, but she's definitely using them to build for her bodybuilding competition. Um, and Lou is the one providing these steroids for her. So we see these we see these circumstances happen to Lou's sister, and after that, the volcano erupts. The journey begins. Um, Jackie pulls up to JJ's house after seeing this, storms out of the hospital, takes Lou's keys, and goes to JJ's house and fights JJ and ends up killing him by smashing his head on uh a dining table, on a table in the living room area. Um, Kills him. You can tell by the look on this man's face that he's dead. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was pretty brutal what Jackie did to him. And you kind of see the effects of steroids and the effects the steroid rage that we all hear and joke about. We see that portrayed in this scene. It was very intense. It was very hot, and I don't know what else to say. It was brutal,
Oh yeah, it
brutal
was
scene,
vicious.
bro.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
viciously brutal. But I think is during that point in the movie, I don't think she was like taking that. Man, I think she was taking like concentrated doses, trying to either building up this type of tolerance like that. But even though it was partly is of steroids and stuff like that, because every time whenever she gets seems like get ready to get pushed over the edge, she had these like muscles contractions of like building and building. But I think also has more to do with the fact that part of her personality is like she's a little off and things like that. Where it's like again, she basically because before when like there was like the whole bombshell with finding out that like like Jackie had like fucked JJ. There, and she was basically talking with Lou about trauma and past in their lives, where like doesn't really go into any details, but it kind of seems like part of the reason like that Jackie is kind of like going from town to town, which is for like a bodybuilding competition. But it felt like she never really talked much about herself in the past except Lou with like her whole family situation. It just had seemed like part of that personality part where she killed JJ seemed like something that she's been just kind of been doing for the sake of like for Lou, and just I think also kind of shows how much she cares. Both of these kind of shows there's like over over emotional over the edge at where she couldn't really control herself or just had like this urge that's just been kind of under the surface, which is kind of a constant thing that's shown throughout the film leading up to the finale.
man, and that's how steroids are. You go through points of rage that you can almost not control, in a sense. I personally not experienced it before, but Being in the personal training world, I have come across people that have been on steroids and people that have been doing steroids, and I've seen the reactions, and I've seen these people act up in real life, not to the point where they murder somebody like Jackie, but to the point where they fight people and they could possibly murder somebody like Jackie did on accident. Um, Get in a fight in a gym and somebody hits their head on a bench press or something like that, they can easily get killed. So I've seen people be put in these situations before where possibly these things that we saw in this movie could happen in real life. And that's just kind of like the effects of steroids. You go through these rage moments where you do not have you don't have control, you don't have a thought process to say like, hey, like maybe I should handle this a little differently. So it was good to see a movie portray this. I haven't seen this portrayed in a movie. Maybe we've seen like little scenes where the football guy is on steroids in some movie or something like that, but we really haven't seen a movie focused on um a relationship in the effects of steroids in that relationship. So I dig that. Moving on. Pretty much we have here JJ's death and Lou and Jackie trying to cover up JJ's death. They end up dumping JJ's body off at, I guess, a spot where Lou's father has been dumping bodies for years, and possibly where Lou maybe had dumped some bodies in the past. They pretty much throw him in the trunk of the car and send the car to a fiery end at the bottom of the canyon, where Lou Sr. has also co-signed his enemies. Okay. The only possible witness is Daisy. That bitch Daisy.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that
This
crazy,
bitch Daisy.
yeah. I guess she was like so annoying in that movie. Like she basically just kept kind of clinging on to Lou like the most of the films of like girl, it's not gonna happen.
Bruh, like she is not that into you. Yeah, she just kept on sticking around, and then she tried to hold it over her after the fact. Yeah. It was she's crazy. Those are the people
Yeah.
you don't need around. Get those people out of your life. Get the daisies out of your life.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I am reading here. The only possible witness is Daisy, a desolate local addict who wants Lou and is jealous of her relationship with Jackie. Yeah, she's been jealous for a
Yeah.
minute.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the cunning Lou Sr. soon realizes that his daughter has disposed of JJ and his own twisted way, wants to protect her from being caught, but things are complicated when Jackie takes off the bodybuilding competition after Lou warns her to lay low. So pretty much what happened, they dump the body, the police report the body, the police go to Lou Sr. before making a ruckus or making a case out of all this. Lou says, Jackie, like, lay low. We're going to take care of this. You're pretty much going to be scot-free if you lay low. And then she takes off to a bodybuilding competition. At the bodybuilding competition, this bitch is performing and throws up
Yeah,
in
she did.
front
Yeah.
of everybody. I was not expecting that from it. I was actually looking at the other women that she was competing against. I was actually thinking that she might win. Based on the looks of the other women, she was looking the biggest, she was looking the strongest, definitely had the most lines, and just had a better physique than everybody else, but ended up throwing up and being the laughing stock of
Yeah.
the competition. Um,
Yeah, even fact that she was also hallucinating crazily. Like, and when she was throwing up, she was also in her visions. She was basically like just like throwing up Lou and stuff from. I was like, what? That was like some crazy imagery they were doing. Kind of show off like I don't know what her whole mindset is after being affected because she had taken like a lot of steroids before she had made it over there. Even more so
oh,
when she had made it there at that tournament.
she kept on taking them there. I was like, damn, what's the even point of taking these here, Brad? Like, you didn't even have to take any more. You made it to the competition. Um, But she ends up being the laughing stock of the competition. Um, Pretty much knowing from Jackie that Daisy saw Lou driving JJ's car with Jackie behind her in Lou's pickup truck. Lou Sr. works out a plan in which Jackie will both get rid of Daisy and take the fall for the crimes. Jackie shoots Daisy in Lou's apartment, but Lou threatens to reveal her father's secrets to the police if he implicates or kills Jackie. So Lou sends a corrupt police officer to kill his own daughter instead, although the cop ends up dead on Lou's floor as well. Love seeing corrupt police officers die.
Yeah. But I tell you, this whole movie, a lot of buyers are piling up. And every other time, it's just always, what they always kind of, this movie does a good job creating like this type of panic and everything for when they actually do take these bodies out. Because when we found out, like literally at the moment when Jackie kills Daisy, she's just freaking out. Because like, she made it very clear that she always preferred like fighting with the hands and everything like that. But then being
Yeah,
forced to actually shoot somebody, especially like someone that like actually directly without in like she literally has to do this and not because of like any type of outrage or because of the steroids. She has to plainly and surely kill somebody. But also it doesn't help that Daisy had basically kind of riled up and instigated, with Jackie. Because like Jackie once tried to call Lou when she was, in jail, but then Daisy was on the phone saying like, stay away from her. She's mine now. And it's like, oh,
yeah.
so it's like
Instigating shit. Yeah,
yeah, honestly, I didn't even feel bad that Daisy had been killed. I thought she was annoying, so like,
man, I'm
okay,
glad Daisy got capped.
yep, so okay,
Yeah.
yep, that's it. I just terrible to say, but I mean, come on,
Yeah.
Daisy, she was already being ridiculous. She had no idea what she was doing. She was stupid.
Yeah, no, she's just a bimbo. If we're just
Yeah,
being honest, bro. And I'm glad she got capped. Because she was not gonna cause nothing but problems for Lou and Jackie. Um, with Jackie now held hostage in Lou Sr.'s mansion, Lou heads there to release her lover and confront her father once and for all. But as Lou Sr. gets the advantage, shooting his daughter in the leg and starting to strangle her, Jackie, who envisions herself in her steroid addled mind as a Hulk like creature whose muscles literally expand and burst out from under her skin, comes and plucks Lou Sr. This woman is now a giant, is like 100 feet tall, bigger than She Hulk. Like, she's not She Hulk. She is like Gulliver's Travel type, like, giant here. And she picks up Lou Sr. and just tosses the man. Just picks him up like that and hurls him to the ground, where Lou doesn't kill him but leaves him tied up as the police arrive. Uh, what? Yeah.
yeah. Let's see, this is the ending that we want to talk about. But I honestly will say, honestly, Katie O'Brien, honestly, I had to watch this movie. Katie O'Brien should have been Jennifer Walters She-Hulk for Marvel.
No,
I
real
mean,
talk. Real talk. She could have had a great role as She-Hulk, but it just came out of like left field. Like, why not just end the more movie on like a normal note, and like Jackie comes and saves her somehow, not turns into a giant and literally picks this man up and hurls him. Like, what? And then we see in the next scene that she's small, riding in a pickup truck. So how did she grow and shrink?
yeah, see, that's the thing. I literally have to after I saw that movie, I literally have to look that up. See, the thing is, what you're probably thinking of like how you're saying how she should have just and saved Blue normally. I'm pretty sure from our normal perspective, that's how it happened. But again, we're mostly getting like this more visual perception from Lou Senior, Lou, and Jackie, where Jackie kind of visualizes herself as this huge giant monstrous protector for Lou, and Lou sees her as like this kind of beautiful giant person trying to save her, whereas Lou Senior just envisions her as this like giant monstrosity just pinning him down, waiting for the kill. Because as it's also noted, what I talked about in the past, after Jackie had killed Daisy, she literally had called one of her family members who were like her adopted family, and like even her mother called her a monster. So it just kind of stems the fact that all this time for as long as she's lived, she has probably had like this uncontrollable nature where she probably did like pretty hardcore acts that probably people see as like monstrous, especially considering how like even since she's become like someone who's like she used to be fat when she was younger, but then bulked up some more, and then
Mhm.
people perceived her as like not being very normal or anything like that. Someone to like reject, but then seeing like Lou basically accept her for all she is and just encouraging her dreams like bodybuilding competitions and everything. It just
Uh-huh.
kind of shows good, that good, healthy, positive note of the relationship. Well, healthy as it can get, considering they killed some people for each other. So like love lies bleeding. Guess you can't love without dropping a body here or two to prove it. So yeah, I think pretty much from our perspective, what we're seeing is like crazy monstrous type. Even though realistically, probably Lou Jackie probably just came charging in and held down Lou Senior while Lou was giving like one final message to her dad before they all ran off across the tennis court into the sunset. But I guess it's probably a good visual perception of everything that we probably thought to perceive to be monstrous acts. But from one other perspective, it's sort of like a very touching, lovable giant thing with like this very delicate person that save and take out the evil monster in reality, which was Lou Senior.
Yeah, yeah. And I get that. I get that. Weird how they portrayed it.
It's very, yeah, it's
I
off-putting.
would have really enjoyed just like a real heated fight scene in the room or something like that. Like maybe one of them gets shot in the leg or a non-fatal gunshot wound or something like that. And like Jackie has to like power through and like really Hulk rage to like save Lou in the end. Um, I felt that like that would have been a much heated ending, and they could have really like ended that climax that they had built with her running around the house and like where's Lou Senior and shit like that. And I really just think the climax of the movie could have had just a much better ending. Like honestly, watching this movie in the theater, everybody was like, "What the hell?" Like people were in arms. I was in arms. I'm like, "What is happening right now
Yeah.
in this movie?"
Yeah, I know. Because theater when I went to, everybody was looking at each other like crazy, like what is going on? I think I
Yeah,
can honestly say that this is probably like a very unique ending that no one could have ever thought of for this movie at all.
it came out of
No
left
matter what you
field.
think.
Yeah, it came out of left field, man.
I mean, it's A24, so they're always gonna do something that's gonna go like what did I just see?
Yeah, yeah,
So it's good keeping that trend in like a very superhero-y, incredible Hulk, She-Hulk type of way, which I gotta give credit to because I did not think they would actually ever do something like that. Not A24, considering like the whole superhero media thing that's been done for like the longest time now since the 2000s. For
yeah.
that, one thing.
But man, uh, I don't think there's anything else left to discuss in this movie. Um,
Oh, there is one last thing because as a Lou and Jackie run to safety after driving away with the cops getting to Lou Senior's house to arrest him. We actually find out that Daisy was still alive in the back of the truck.
oh, what? Yo, we did find out Daisy was still alive in the back of the truck. Man, that was a crazy scene that they threw in at the end there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I also like it because like usually when the movie ends like that, it's like right off into the sunset, happy and in love. But like
Yeah.
they want to go that actual or average route. No, they want to make it like very like a they want to make it cynical where it's like okay, yeah, they got away, but at this point, aren't they kind of on the run? And then we got this one body, this one last thing that can tie them everything. Lou, basically, after all this time, she always said that she wasn't like her father. But I think at some point in the other movie, she more similar to him than you might think. Because like she
Hmm.
literally, coldly, literally choked Daisy to death in the eyes and just get ready to dump her body off and bury it on the side of the road.
Man, it was kind of perfect to Daisy's character. She's still a fucking nuisance.
Yeah,
She's still a pain in the ass.
I don't even,
Yeah.
I don't. She can't even die right.
Yeah. She can't even die right. That is just perfect to Daisy's character. Um, and really a good little ode, a good little send off, a good little just an unexpected ending. We thought they were just riding off into the sunset, but they gave us a little more juice there at the end. Um, but besides that, that was a good point. I'm glad we touched on that scene before we left. But besides that, man, uh, 5 out of 10 for me.
8 out of 10 for me.
And this has been the review and reaction of Love Lies Bleeding, guys. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your own rating down below. Let us know what you thought of that ending, and let's have some conversation in the comments about this ending. That's it, guys. This has been the Big Screen Show. Thank you so much. I'm Wyatt. This is the boy, Alex, and we'll be with y'all soon with another movie and reaction review. Thank you, guys.